It's been about 5 days since the community saw Vanguard Zombies for the first time. It's very clear that the community's response to Vanguard Zombies has been, well, interesting to say the least. Treyarch have stayed absolutely silent on the community response until now, courtesy of Kevin Drew, who's the lead game designer at Treyarch in charge of zombie systems and Outbreak for Black Ops Cold War. Now, the last time Treyarch had upset the zombies community in a big way was back during the launch of Black Ops 4. The zombies mode was released in a buggy state where crashing was very often and Easter eggs were near impossible to complete because the game would crash so frequently. Treyarch had to respond to that because that was issues with the game's stability that needed to be fixed. However, when it comes to Vanguard Zombies, whilst it's had a disappointing launch with a lack of content, I would argue that Treyarch don't necessarily have to put out a apology statement or anything like that, as this isn't to the same extent as Black Ops 4, which had literally game-breaking issues. But regardless and if you feel Treyarch should or shouldn't say something about the response, Kevin Drew, the lead game designer, has shared his opinion and a unique perspective that I don't think a lot of people in the community have even considered with regards to what's happened with Vanguard Zombies. Starts off by saying, video game development is complex, just like any entertainment industry. It is very rare that a single individual is responsible for the success of a game. It takes many talented people to create something special. Now, straight up, we all need to consider exactly what he said here. It's very rare that one individual is responsible for the success of a game, and it takes many talented people in a team to create something special. With all the criticism that Vanguard Zombies has gotten, I've seen so many people on Twitter, Reddit, YouTube comments that Treyarch Zombies without Jason Blundell is simply not Treyarch Zombies and we need Blundell back. Now, even when Blundell was at Treyarch heading up the direction of Zombies for Black Ops 3 and 4, he noted at multiple points to not credit him as the sole individual responsible for the creation of some of the best beloved maps. It took many talented people within the whole team of Treyarch that he's a part of to create those experiences. And in the same light, most of the team that created those maps is still there at Treyarch with the same drive and passion for zombies as they had back then. Kevin goes on to say, even with an amazing team, there are circumstances beyond their control that can impact a game. Development time, budget, and meeting consumer demands, to name a few. Ultimately, that should not matter to the person playing the game. Now, that isn't Kevin being specific to the circumstances that have impacted the reception of Vanguard Zombies, but with the examples of development time, budget, and meeting consumer demands, they are all very difficult things to balance, and there is no doubt in my mind that development time has played into how Vanguard Zombies has launched, with the fact that Treyarch had to take over Sledgehammer and Raven's game in 2019 to bring us Cold War at the end of 2020, and then producing 6 seasons of content whilst they're also probably planning and working on their next COD game, and then they've been tasked on making zombies in this game as well. Treyarch honestly did the impossible with Cold War, bringing a really good game with 6 seasons of solid content. I'm surprised we even have Vanguard Zombies at all, given how strapped for time Treyarch must be. And that is not a problem of Treyarch, so Treyarch shouldn't be to blame for not having enough development time. But Kevin points out that all of these circumstances that can impact a game should not matter to the person playing the game because they will have no idea that any of that was an issue in the development process. But then he goes, as a consumer, it's their right to play it and form an opinion, negative or positive, and voice that. What troubles me is when people claim that the developers have no passion for the game they work on. This could not be further from the truth. Having gone through that many times over the years, they are likely taking that criticism the hardest as they reflect on the unique challenges of that project and how they can do better. Regardless of the circumstances, we always want people to enjoy the things we make. Taking apart that final tweet, we got to think that at the end of the day, there are real human beings with real feelings that are making these games and putting their life and soul into making a product for us to enjoy. And when you are receiving backlash as heavy as the backlash is for Vanguard Zombies right now, it's really difficult to take out the actual constructive feedback and criticism to make the game better. The developers are instead overwhelmed with the criticism, which would absolutely be a mentally taxing thing to go through. Like, if you reread that last tweet again, he mentions that this criticism of no passion would definitely likely be taken the hardest as they reflect on the unique challenges of that project and how they can do better. At this point, I have no doubt that the Treyarch developers have heard the criticisms, they've heard what the backlash and reception is of the game, and they're going to do everything in their power to try and turn around the community sentiment on the game and improve the game with content updates. But I think at the end of the day, what Kevin's trying to say without outright saying it, Vanguard Zombies has unfortunately suffered with the circumstances of being very time constrained and also probably not having as much budget as they were given for the entirety of Cold War Zombies. We know that the Treyarch Zombies team are the absolute GOATs. They have been for the past 12, 13 years, and that's why Treyarch Zombies is regarded with such high praise, is that they always deliver a passionate, focused zombies. And from the art direction and the storyline, you can tell that a lot of passion has been poured in to make Vanguard Zombies seem distinctly unique in its atmosphere and setting compared to what we've had before. Now, it's very clear that there is a lot of fundamental gameplay systems introduced in Cold War that have been brought to Vanguard but altered in ways that not a lot of the community agrees with, and ultimately at this point, what would be the most useful for Treyarch is to see constructive feedback, criticism that they can use to take on board to improve the Vanguard Zombies gameplay experience. I, for one, am extremely interested to read the comments on what your thoughts are, so please let me know any and all of your opinions in the comments below. I'm especially interested to hear what your opinion is on what Kevin has said on Twitter in the comments below as well, and there's no doubt that someone at Treyarch is going to be watching this video to read the feedback in the comments below, so by all means share your opinion, be vocal, but just remember to give constructive feedback, as that's the best way that they can improve the game. And the last point I'll make in this video is please don't shoot the messenger. I'm here just sharing what Kevin Drew has said, the lead game designer at Treyarch, and in a way this is Treyarch's first response to the Vanguard Zombies reception, but that's Treyarch's opinion and perspective, that's not my own. I've added a little bit of my opinion here and there, but ultimately we should encourage the comment section to talk about Kevin's opinions and also feedback that Treyarch can take on board to make the mode better, as I definitely feel that Vanguard Zombies has potential. We just need to see what Treyarch are gonna do next. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like rating, let me know in the comments below, and subscribe for more zombies content. We'll be covering Vanguard Zombies still here on the channel, as well as throwing it back to older zombies games and zombies maps. So if that sounds good to you, then it is on the way. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.